award for many eminent personalities in a different categories, but this is the one special category. Suppose if I say, people may not misunderstand. One Satyajit and who gave a proudness to India by all over the world. He is the second person who gave that proudness and zeal to India. That's how we are all very happy to have him here, and he is kind enough to receive the award of Akhileri Nageshwar Rao Award, National Award. I congratulate him. I don't know the age difference between we two, but maybe a little bit elder to him. There's no question, elder and smaller, how creative he is. He is a legendary person from India. We're all proud about him. He is kind enough to receive the award, and now he may speak few words, something about what all the feelings he had yesterday and today. And afterwards, we may have questions and answers by him. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Dr. Nageshwara, for all the very kind words you have spoken about me. I'm in fact absolutely, as I said yesterday, humbled by the fact that you thought me fit to give the national award that you have instituted, and then the kind of people you've given those awards to before me, who are very, very illustrious people who've contributed a great deal to Indian cinema, and to be counted among them is actually an incalculable honor for me. One of the things that I've always liked very much is that the graciousness that Dr. Nageshwara has, and he's been so gracious in the way he has been, in the way he behaves with everybody. It's just extraordinary. And a person who has, I was just being taken around this wonderful awards museum, and I could see, his career has been so extraordinary, and he's part of history of Andhra Pradesh and actually history of Indian cinema in a way that very few other people have achieved. And as far as I'm concerned, I must say that when I was told that I was going to get this award, I was filled with a great deal of excitement, because it was wonderful to be recognized in one's own hometown where I was born, and to be recognized by a person who brought the film industry actually to Hyderabad in the first place. So that was a double honor. Well, my own career in cinema now is, well, certainly over 50 years. But of those, only 40 years are the number of years I have been making fiction films, feature films. Before that, I was doing documentaries, I was doing advertising films, and so on. And even while I was doing fiction films, I also decided, because the reach of television in this country is enormous, and I felt that through television, one could reach a much larger number of people, and I made what I thought at that time was the most difficult thing to do, which was to tell the entire history of India based on Jawaharlal Nehru's discovery of India. And when I made it, I didn't realize that it would be used often as a textbook for history in schools and colleges, which it has now achieved that position, because when I made it in 1988-89, at that time I just thought it would be shown once on television. That was it. but it keeps coming back from time to time on various channels, and and that pleases me a great deal because it's something that I've not. I mean, I've reached with the cinema, but with television, I have reached an audience well beyond all of this, and it has reached people from school level age all the way to older people, senior citizens. So I think that has given me a great deal of pleasure, and the present thing that I'm about to be doing, which I've got 10 scripts ready, is to do a mini series on the making of the Indian Constitution, because I felt that this was a very important piece of work that had to be done. It's extremely difficult to do, and I suddenly say, but why am I at the age of 78 should I think of doing something like this? But I felt that, you have to take challenges whatever your age you are at. It doesn't make any difference. So I decided to do this, and for the last 8 months we have been struggling and fighting to get excellent scripts worked out, and then getting people to read them and so on. Because you see, the Indian Constitution defines us as who we are, defines this country as a nation, it defines us as individuals, as people, and in this vast diversity that we have in our country, no other country is as diverse as our country, with so many contending interests, and for a group of people to sit at the time of independence to create a constitution for us was seemed like an insurmountable task at that time. But in fact, it is not only they succeed in doing it, but it has held in fairly good state even after 64 years. If you look at the constitutions of the countries around us, our neighbors and various other countries of the world, you will find that most of them collapsed within a few years. But our constitution continues. Yes, we keep amending it from time to time because of the various requirements of different sections of the Indian population with different interests and so on. But eventually it holds together. And that, to me, is the remarkable quality of the Constitution, which I think I should bring to the public at large. And also for the understanding of people, for adults, children, everybody. It's important to know who we are, the way we have defined ourselves. Because it's not enough to think, we are here. All of the entire country, of course, is as they say, every 12, every 12 miles, the water changes. The moment the water changes, people change. So you have so many characteristics of the Indian personality that you get bewildered, when somebody says, well, that he's an Indian or he's not an Indian. Because I remember many years ago, I made a film called Trikal in Goa about the Christian characteristics of Goa, and it was a film that I felt, Goa was hardly introduced to the rest of India at that time, and I felt it was important to make this film. And when I made this film, and I took it to Delhi, and there was a press conference like this, and the gentleman from the press stood up and he said, "Why have you decided, Mr. Benegal, to make a foreign film?" It was so difficult for them to understand that we are in our own country. We have so many different kinds of people. Often we mistake people from our northeast as foreigners. We don't recognize them as Indians. You don't recognize a Naga as an Indian, Meitei as an Indian. You don't recognize people from Assam frequently as Indians. So, it becomes very important for work like this to be done. And that's one of the reasons I decided to work on the Indian Constitution. I don't think I have very much more to say. I'd rather that all of you ask me questions, then it will, different aspects can come out. Thank you.